This girl just turned 16 and is already 3 to 4 months pregnant by this predator. That's right. And you know what? For those of you just joining us, I want you to hear again about who is this 40-year-old perv. Listen.
He's not a good dude. He targets young females, uses the internet. As you see, he's traveled to Wisconsin and back once.
Gary Day, 40, lives in Cabot, Arkansas, and has been divorced 4 times, most recently from the mother of his 2 sons, ages 3 and 4. Day is still serving probation for endangering the welfare of his oldest son and was recently charged with domestic battery against the child. Day is not permitted to leave the state of Arkansas without permission from his probation officer.
Well, he did. That was from our friends at News 3 Now, and we're learning more. Listen.
Law enforcement discovers the black Buick LaCrosse is registered to Day's mother and should have Arkansas plate number BBR20L. But 45 minutes later, the car is spotted heading south on Highway 151 near Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, with Pennsylvania plate number KGW5186. Police advise that Day may continue to switch license plates and believe he may be traveling back to Arkansas because his mother lives there, but cannot say that with complete certainty. Drivers in Illinois and Missouri are asked to keep a close eye out for the 2014 LaCrosse.
We do know that he's switching plates right now and putting different plates on the vehicle, which makes it a little bit more difficult for law enforcement, but we're still working through the logistics of that.
Our friends, News 3 Now. Guys, that is Beaver Dam Police Chief John Cruiser. Okay, let me make sense of what I'm hearing. Straight out to Dr. Bethany Marshall, renowned psychoanalyst, joining us from LA, author of Deal Breaker, and you can see her now on Peacock. Dr. Bethany, thank you for being with us. Dr. Bethany, okay, I might as well get comfortable for you to tell me everything that's going on up here right now, but just jumping out at me, he's 40, he's almost 41 years old, and he's driving his mommy's car. Let's just start with that.
I caught that too, Nancy. I mean, this is a guy, I think he's probably so prolifically involved in his perversion and his sex addiction and pursuing underage girls that he probably doesn't even, I know he has a job, he's an insurance home inspector, but I doubt he even functions very highly in society, Nancy. He probably lives off his mother. And the fact that he has child abuse charges against his own son, and then he's gravitating towards minor women, tells me that this guy likes to have a lot of power over his victims. He's probably all syrupy and sweet when he meets these girls. He probably tries to alienate them from their parents. He probably tells them that he understands them, that nobody else understands them. But the minute Sophia disagrees with him, I'm sure this is one menacing individual. This is a guy who looks nice on the outside, but is very cruel deep down. And the idling in front of the house, I mean, that is so creepy to me, Nancy. His whole day is spent just canvassing for girls. I don't even know how he has time to do much else because his whole perversion, his whole obsession is wrapped around this.
Speaking of, joining me is veteran trial lawyer, former felony prosecutor, now defense attorney, Daryl Cohen, partner in Cohen, Cooper, Estep, and Allen. Daryl, thank you for being with us. Daryl, how many times in a bond forfeiture calendar when somebody wouldn't show up for court would say, oh, go to his mom's house, I'm sure he's hiding under the bed or in the closet right now? I mean, another thing, aside from his driving his mother's car, didn't his employer, I believe that he worked at an insurance company, correct me if I'm wrong, Alexis and Dr. Bethany, didn't they notice the big fat ankle monitor he was wearing? Why would you keep someone employed not just with a police arrest, but with a conviction? With a conviction and a big honking ankle monitor.
Nancy, these things happen. You have an ankle monitor because you're not a terrible criminal as far as the system is concerned. You have an ankle monitor because they don't want to incarcerate you. You have an ankle monitor so you can be tracked. They have an ankle monitor that shouldn't come off, that shouldn't lose its battery. But if and when it does, that's when the company that owns those ankle monitors should immediately notify law enforcement.
Okay, see, we all know what you did right there. I know you got your law degree, but is there a magician hiding deep inside your soul? Because I ask you this and you try to show me that. It's like pulling a different rabbit out of the hat. That's not what I asked for.